Hi, welcome to the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and I am so thrilled tonight to have the country leader for Points of View, Sezin Hason. How you doing?
Thank you, Laurie.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm telling you,
Thank
she
you.
came in on a whirlwind schedule. You can tell us all about what you've been doing in New York City.
Yes.
But as you know, this game this game and this show was based on my favorite of all tools, which is Points of View, the coaching game. And I just wanted to spread the word. And when we were talking, Sezin said, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to spread the word. So we all just want to spread the word here.
Yes.
How did you get involved in Points of View?
It's been about 4 years now,
Okay.
actually. I'm a coach. I'm
Mhm.
a coactive coach, and I was doing one-on-one coaching, actually, over the last almost 8 years. And about 4 years ago, kind of like I had a little pause in my life, I would say. I wanted to get into group coaching. I wanted to go into doing workshops and actually work with people. I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know where to start with that, from going individual one-on-one work to group work. And I actually attended a bunch of seminars, and I was always listening to people and admiring people. Oh, wow, these people so amazing, so inspiring, and how can I do this? And I always thought to myself, all these people have stories, and I thought to myself, what is my story? What is my story? I always felt like I had a pretty easy life. I had a good family life. I moved to New York when I was 19, finished college, had a good job, and married, kids, all these, and then I was thinking, how can that be inspiring, right? Right around that time, actually, I got diagnosed with breast cancer, and it was kind of a shock. But it was also for me be careful what you wish for. I felt like, oh, you asked for a story. Here's your story, right?
Maybe you should have defined that a little bit better.
Exactly. So that year was a pause for me. I literally paused from everything I was doing and tried to rearrange my life, what I want from life, just start asking questions. And then right around that time, a friend of mine actually bring me this amazing game.
Wow.
She came to visit me from Europe with this, and I really liked it from the first time I hold it in my hands, and I was like, oh my God, this is the missing piece to my puzzle.
Oh, how cool.
I just had to go and do the training, and it was so funny because it was right after my therapy's finished, my chemo was just done, I literally had no hair, no nothing. I looked at the training, there's a training in New York, I said, I'm going, I don't care what people say, I'm going. And I went, and I fell in love with it all over again, during the training. Our co-founder was there, Efrat, and it was an amazing, life-changing training for me those 5 days. And I came back and I said, this is what I want to do. I just want to do everything with Points of View. So over the last 4 years, this is pretty much all I do. I do workshops. I started with small workshops. And one thing led to another, and they asked me if I become one of their global facilitators. So I did another training with them. I now one of their master trainers that we do our 5-day trainings all around the world. The training that I did in New York, now I actually get to facilitate all around the world.
Yeah.
And last year, they asked if I want to lead the U.S. market. And I have an amazing partner. He's in Atlanta, actually. He's based in Atlanta on Nugian. And together, we're leading the U.S. market right now.
Fantastic.
And it just was an amazing journey the last 4 years.
Points of View called you. I love it.
Yes.
Well, what happened, the way I became introduced to this was when I was president of ICF New York City, someone called me and said, hi, I have a game I'd like to show you. And I said, okay. So I had her come over, Limor Tamir, and I'm thank her still to this day. And as soon as she opened it up, and we didn't even take the ribbon off, and I went, I want to be involved in this. I knew it was going to be life-changing, and it absolutely was. And it's funny you say workshop, because the phrase, and I think you've probably heard it before, this is a workshop in in a book.
box.
In a box.
Yes, yes.
In a box. That's mine.
That's your word? I use that all the time in the trainings. Okay,
you can pick up a card. You can have 65 individual sessions. I mean, one on each card.
Yes.
Or you can. I would not start a workshop without using the cards. They're just so. And I know Efrat has done so much work, as has Yaron, on how images break down that wall and just make you commute. Have you found that?
All the time.
Even
with one card sometimes,
yes,
you get through to people. And sometimes I just do a session with 1 or 2 cards with people, and they say to me like, oh my God, I was working in this issue with a master coach for the last 3 days, like 3 weeks, like 1-hour sessions, and I got more insight with one card. How is that possible?
Exactly. Well, and if you do with an individual client, if you do the layout,
yes,
inevitably they will go, how did you make that happen? I go, I did not pick the cards. You picked the card. But it is just amazing how your brain wraps around that image and really opens up so many things that need to be opened up.
Totally.
So I know that's the enthusiasm that you're sharing with everybody too. So.
Yes.
Well, when you do a workshop, do you use all of the tools? Well, let's talk about the tools first. This is Punctum, and this is kind of fun. I know people who use this. This has questions, words, and pictures.
Yes.
And I know people who just, if they're stuck for a coaching question and they're on the phone with their people, they'll just pull out a card and go, oh, well, what's standing in your way? Whatever the question was. So they use that for their questions as well as the layout.
Totally.
And faces, you're going to have to tell us about, because that's a whole new game that I don't even know about.
Our new game. So coaching game and Punctum are very much related. They're Punctum, I would say, a little bit smaller version of coaching game. Coaching game has the cards with the words on them, and Punctum, as you explained, they're separate. The cards doesn't have any words on them, and there's word cards and question cards. They're both based on metaphors. Faces is a little different. Faces have actually, I'll show you the cards, have faces on them.
Okay.
And there's 99 cards representing different, I would say, genders, races, different, nationalities, cultures, age groups, kind of like our world population, right?
Lovely.
And the 100th card is actually a mirror, which represents you, right? So it's a whole picture of it. So it's more based on, I would say, personalities and emotions. People do a lot of workshops, so these are kind of like the cards we have on the on Faces. Yeah. So different, and they're black and white, just to take the distraction out of
the. You don't
so
you
just
lost
really
in the color.
Exactly. You just really focus on the face, the eye, the emotion, and people use it a lot. I use it a lot. I love it. On diversity and inclusion workshops, emotional intelligence. There's a lot you can do with it. It's really, really an amazing, very powerful tool. It's different. It's a little bit more direct, I would say. And it comes with actually 58 reflection cards. We call them reflection cards. They're based on archetypes. So we call them reflection cards because, so it's like spoiled, deep, I would say flexible,
arrogant,
yeah. So it's like different, again, based on archetypes, mostly Jungian archetypes, and you can use them. You don't have to use them. Sometimes I use just the cards. Sometimes I use them together. And again, this is also a workshop in a box, because
it has
it's the same.
Manual. Oh my
goodness, has the book the same way Coaching Game has its book, and the reflection cards again has numbers on them. And you can again refer back to the book on that page on the reflection card. And if, let's say, this is arrogant, and then you can open a page. There's a story. Is it like a fairy fable or a folk story or something like that? A little different, Dan. These are not really stories. There are stories, but more about people. And there are some quotes, and there are some lyrics, song lyrics, and other questions, and more images on that,
and coaching questions and quotes.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
So it's all about, again, the same way, like expanding your points of view on that same, like topic. Like the same
way.
Now,
if you were going to start a workshop with this gentleman's face, what would you ask somebody to relate to it? What would you?
You know what? I'm just coming back from a corporate workshop right now this morning.
You.
So what I started with faces and as an icebreaker with them, and I told them when they were entering the room, pick a card that they connect to. I didn't say anything. Just pick one face that you feel connected to. Without thinking too much, you look at this face, you feel like they can be your friend, right? So, and I told them when we were sitting at the table, I told them, tell me your name. They introduce themselves. Now tell me one thing about yourself to the group. These were like all team members that come from different parts of the world. They don't know each other.
Okay.
About yourself through the card. You choose this card for a reason. You connected this card for a reason.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Faces is all about reflection, right? What we see in others, that's something that reflects from us,
Yes,
right? What
yes.
do we see in others that says something about us?
Yeah.
So I told them, like, introduce yourself through the card. Tell us one thing about yourself. And people say, oh, I picked this person because this reminds me of my daughter. I don't know, I haven't seen her for so long and I'm going to visit her. Or some people say that, oh, this reminds me of my grandma. Or some people say that this reminds me when I was younger and I was thinking about this kind of a dream, and now I'm in corporate, but I was, like, things come up that you wouldn't usually get from people when you ask them, introduce yourself.
Well, it's so much more effective than saying, hi, I'm Laurie and I've been a coach since 2004.
Exactly.
I mean, because nobody's listening. They're thinking, oh, what am I going to say? When was I? And whereas I have done this with corporate leaders. I have done this with previously incarcerated men, and the results are still amazing no matter where it's just. Yes. I just refer to Ephron and Yaron as geniuses. I don't know how
totally
they figured
agree.
it out, but they did, and hallelujah. So what does a country leader do? Run around leading the country?
So
or
what we wanted to do, we started leading the country like last November. So since last November, I mean, we had around at that time, like last year, around 90 trainers around the U.S. Like you, right? We have a bunch of trainers. Some are certified, some did the training, never did their certification. And first of all, the first step was like bringing the tribe together.
Right.
So everyone was scattered, everyone was doing their own thing with points of view. We just kind of like put everyone together, connected with everyone, and just tell them like what we want to do together, how we can bring this games into U.S. market and bring more brand awareness because they're amazing.
Yes.
So we connected with everyone. And then now, like over since actually we started, I think since last January, we do monthly Zoom meetings. We all meet, whoever wants to attend. All the trainers.
Okay, great.
So they attend, everyone share what they do. If they ask a question, if they have a question, we share with each other, try to help each other. If someone has a workshop coming up, if the other one has some knowledge or they did a workshop around that, they share their format with each other. So we really try to help each other, create a kind of like a tribe, put it together. So we support each other and we work together.
And what I love about that, because it is like an international family, people share. I mean, sometimes you feel like coaches hold close to tight to their chest because it's like, oh, I don't know how many clients are. People and points of view and share. They say, oh, what really worked for me, and somebody who's interested in your area. It's really kind of it breaks it down even for coaches.
Totally. Yeah. Because besides our U.S. tribe, we also have our global tribe.
Yes.
And we have an amazing Facebook group. So I always tell people, I say sometimes I'm going to do a workshop on whatever, like leadership. And then I asked to our Facebook group, say, guys, I'm having a workshop on leadership with this 30 people. It's this kind of, they're a health company. Did anyone work with this? And all of a sudden I get emails from from Chile, from Peru, from, I don't know, China. And they said that I did this already. Let me send you my format. It's just everyone is that's part of points of view too, bringing the belonging, bringing the tribe together. So that's part of our
it's
core
definitely
values,
a tribe, and it's definitely a family. And so that's what's so cool. So, and tell them the best part for coaches. How many, this is ICF certified, yeah?
Yes, all our training. So since April, our training system changed a little bit. We try to make it global, actually, because we were really big around the world. So there was Japan leadership, like in Japan is really big, in Latin America, in Europe, then we're all around Europe, but everyone was doing kind of like their own. So what we, they created an amazing brand, actually, starting like this last April. We started it, and it's called Points of View Academy, and we have 3 levels of trainings right now. So level 1, level 2, and level 3. And it's all around the world the same. So everyone leads the same way. We give the same same participant booklet. It comes with a kit. Everyone gives the games. It's the same pricing all over the world. So it is very set. It's an amazing, they come up with really amazing marketing materials. We supply that to our trainers now. So it's really amazing. And can
you just give us the distinctions between because she said, I'm in town and I'm going to do L1, L2, and I go, I don't even know what she's talking
Yes,
about. So
yes.
what are the distinctions? Educate me.
Totally. So L1 is our first level 1 training, and it's kind of like your introduction. It's your entry point to points of view. It's a 6-hour day-long training, and it's again ICF accredited and SHRM accredited actually. You get 6 ICF credits and 6 SHRM credits if you register your training with SHRM. And we play with coaching game and punctum in level 1.
Okay.
And we do a larger group process, a smaller group process, and a one-on-one process. So everything we do, all our trainings are very experiential. So we're not lecturing you, we're not teaching you how to use the games. While we play the games together, so you get a feeling into it. So as much as it's a professional training, it's a personal development, I always say. When you come, you go through the process yourself, and it's amazing. And so it's 6 hours, we play different, and then at the end of, you kind of get the idea of how to use the games, right, after level 1. And level 1 training, after you finish, you get a certification of attendance. There's no other requirement. And you can go and create your own workshops after you attend a level 1.
After the 6 hours. Wow, nice.
We give them support. I always tell people, you can call me if you're stuck with a workshop, if you have something. But
and then if they wanted to do a workshop and get it accredited, they would go through ICF for that.
Yes.
Got it. Okay,
yes.
That's great. That's great.
But they can create their own, and they can. They're not part of points of view.
Right, right.
All they can say is, I'm using this workshop. I'm doing this workshop using points of view tools. Right.
Okay.
So they become points of view explorers, we say.
I like that.
And then if they want to get into more points of view and actually affiliated with us, then they have to go to the level 2 training, which is a 2-day training. It's 16 hours. And it's 16 ICF credits.
Amazing.
And actually it's 18 because it comes with a 2-hour online session.
Oh, okay.
So it's 18 ICF credits and 16 SHRM credits. And in level 2, we also include phases. And we get more depth into the methodology. We talk about our methodology. We talk more about phototherapy, like how we look at photos. We know what is the questions you ask for people to get deeper into the photos, images. And we do more processes. We do icebreakers, we do different processes using a layout chart. And actually, they even create their own layout chart.
I know, I love that.
Yeah,
and then,
at the end of
and
it.
again, they used to put them online, and they share them with everybody. So
yes.
it's
yes.
just fantastic. I need something for career advancement, and go, and you get all these layout charts, which are just wonderful. Yeah.
And the whole level 2 process, the content is set around potential me. So every process we do,
I like it.
every process we do is about your potential, tapping into your potential. So again, it's a professional training, but you go through this, processes one by one personally. Experience them personally. So it's an amazing, very deep, amazing process. I just did both level 1 on Friday and level 2 Saturday, Sunday in New York City. It was amazing. Yeah.
And is there level 3?
Yes, and level 3 is done not locally. They're scheduled by our HQ, by Israel, and it's all around the world, usually once or twice a month, and it's all around the world. So we did one recently in Vietnam. Actually, my partner, just facilitated that.
Oh my gosh.
In Vietnam, and right now there's one going on in China. And I think in January and February we have Mexico and Portugal coming up. So it's really like we have Peru, Chile, Brazil, all around the world.
So level 3 is kind of international or different country, is that
international?
What it is?
Even if it's in Vietnam, people from all around the world go there. It's usually a very diverse group.
Is it in person also?
In person. Everything is in person. We do everything in person. It's a 5-day training. And if I'm not wrong, I think it's 44 ICF credits. I'm not sure. I have to
That was the one I originally took when this one was just getting started. And that whole, I was like, wow, I have my total certification for the next 3 years. I loved it.
Exactly.
It was 44 credits.
Yes. And it's an amazing program. It's like, again, as much as it's an trainer certification program, it's again a personal development too. I mean, it's a life-changing. If you're really there, if you're really fully open and really there to experience the tools. I mean, it changed my life like 4 years ago.
How did it change your life?
You know what? We always tell after the trainings to people, like, whatever comes up, whatever decision you're going to make, wait for 10 days before making life-changing decisions. If the decision is still there in 10 days, if it's still relevant, it's
it.
going to be there, and then go for it.
Exactly.
So I pretty much did that. I waited. I come back in May 2016 from my training. And in June, I decided a lot of things. I literally changed my life upside down. I mean, left whatever I'm doing. I started doing only points of view.
That's amazing.
I got a divorce.
I actually coached someone with points of view, and she said, and it was about a relationship, and she called me that, and she said, we're getting a divorce. I go, oh, I'm so sorry. She goes, no, this is good.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it was it's I wouldn't say good or bad, but that's what needed, I would say.
Yeah.
I moved, so it was really
did it make you more aware of, well, I know because I've had that diagnosis also. It's like, oh, time to quit playing now. You know, nobody's here for indefinite time. Did it make you more aware of like what I really want? It speaks to your passion, right? And it makes you more aware of what you want to do.
I think for me, it was like more, I felt like I had a pretty comfortable life, but I felt like I was staying in my comfort zone for way too long.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really tapping into what I really want. You know, I was really doing, what I had to do, kind of, as a mother, as a wife, as a businesswoman. Like all this.
We're going by society rules.
Yes, exactly, which is good. But along the way, I forgot what I want, what I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And so when I was in the training, I don't know if you remember, but we do a little vision board at the end. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So, and in my vision board, and then we come up with a statement. And my statement was, I don't want to settle. And Efrat asked me, how you can say that in a positive way, not like I don't.
I don't want, yeah.
And then my statement was, I want to live.
Whoa.
And it was very powerful at that time for me. So when I come back, I said that I'm going to learn to say no to certain things, and I'm going to give space for myself.
What really speaks to your heart.
And then just go for what I really want and hopefully a little bit touch people's lives. That's why I love the level 2 training, because that potential that we all have in us.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes we settle for things, right? That's comfort zone.
Absolutely.
And to touch people and just tell them, like, there's so much out there, just go for it.
Really?
We all have it in us, and I love it.
And therein lies the beauty of all this. It's just amazing, because it does open up a whole new perspective, and a whole new, it expands your possibilities.
Yes.
And it creates awareness that, I'm not sure, maybe you could sit in a shrink's office for a couple years and you might get it, but this crazy little picture will make you go, oh, yeah, I like his smile, and I want to be free, and I think I see a peace sign on his head. I used to be like that,
Yes.
And then what happened? And then you go down this whole, because I always say when you're doing this, you think you're going with an answer, and then suddenly you're over here and you go, whoa, what happened? You know? It's like, how did I get here? But it's a beautiful journey.
Yes.
So what's next for you?
Right now, I
you
think
need to rest.
I need to go back and take 2 days off for sure. I miss my kids. I want to go home and be with them for 2 days. It's been a very tense 5 days. But other than that, I mean, I really love the tools, and I know how it works. So, and I'm very passionate about it. We all are, I have a lot of trainers, amazing facilitators, amazing trainers in the US.
Yeah.
And we're really passionate about it. And we just want to put it out there. The more exposure we get, the more work we do, the more people experience it. Hopefully, eventually, I mean, this is something that people can even use at their home,
Oh my gosh,
I used to play the coaching game with my daughter when she was 6 years old. And kids at this age, I do a lot of trainings with teens. I do trainings at schools. And this is the language of 21st century. The kids at this age, they live in Snapchat and Instagram. They know how to use photography. So for them, it's easy to connect to photos, images. So just hopefully at the end, soon, this is going to be in every home and every school, and
that'd be nice.
Corporates love it because it's interactive, it's experiential. They're bored of this leadership trainings that you go and someone lectures with a PowerPoint, and they want to interact and they want to explore. And emotional intelligence becomes so important, and they understand that now.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's become a priority almost, which is
Yes.
good because 10 years ago it was like, oh, maybe this is good. Now it's like, oh no, now it's essential.
Yes.
It's essential. It's funny because I was watching some hearings, some congressional hearings before I got here, and I go, now they need some points of view. They really do. This could help our whole country here. But,
Yes.
and it could, one person at a time.
Yes.
So where's your next workshop?
My next one is in January in LA. I do them in LA, in Los Angeles, actually monthly. Our level 1 I do monthly, level 2 every other month. And then in February, we're going to do it with my partner in Atlanta. February 7, 9, it's going to be level 1, level 2 again, back to back.
Right.
And then I'm not sure. And then probably Seattle, and I'm guessing in April I'm going to be in Washington to do a training with Tamara. Do you know Tamara?
Yeah, Hamilton.
Yes.
Hey, Tamara.
Yeah, so probably with Tamara we're going to do, and Caroline,
Caroline
Blackwell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
so with
cool.
them probably we're going to do a level 1 and level 2 in
Let me
Washington.
know when you're in D.C. It's a possibility. I'd like to see.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell me now, how many countries is Points of View in? Do you know?
Right now we're around, I'm guessing more than 40 countries. And it's
I'm
actually,
just
the games are
amazed.
translated over 20 languages right now.
Really?
We have them in
Oh my
Chinese, Japanese, Italian, French, of course, like Spanish,
gosh.
those are
Yeah.
Polish, Turkish. And recently, actually, we have an amazing country leader right now in the Arab-speaking countries, and they just translate them in Arabic.
Oh my gosh, how great
Can you
is
imagine
that?
an Israeli
No.
game translated in Arabic, and she's doing
cannot.
them in, it's amazing.
I actually had who I thought was quite unique, a Kuwaiti coach, and she had just gotten over there, and she was, and I love the game, but can you not mention that it was developed in Israel? I go, no problem,
Yeah.
you know.
So
it's
she
like
can get them now in Arabic.
Exactly, I've got to let her know that.
Yeah.
That is so exciting.
It's recent, and we have an amazing leader for the Arabic countries, and she's amazing. And yeah.
Wow, that is truly amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say. I would say if they want to buy this, if people want to buy it, or can they still experience it online also? Like choose
There is a
card and
little,
stuff
even
like
on
that?
our website, if they go to pointsofviewusa.com,
You'll see that at the bottom, right there.
Yes,
Yeah.
at the bottom. And there's an option there to play the game. Just with
Just
coaching
to get
game,
taste,
just a little
yeah,
get of the taste coaching game. The cards are uploaded there. And they can order the games through there. You know, in the US it's easy. We ship it really fast. And our schedule is there. Our training schedule is there. So you can see our upcoming trainings. Because whenever our other trainers also schedule, I post them there. So everything is listed there in all states, wherever we're doing in each city.
Oh my gosh, so you're just like you're the country leader, of course. So you're just
Yeah.
like a clearinghouse. I love it.
Yes.
Okay,
So
yeah.
everything is on our website. You can see our existing trainers in your city around you. You can contact them. We have amazing trainers. So yeah, we have around like 100 trainers right now within the US. Certified trainers.
Oh my gosh, that is just so amazing. I'm so thrilled to see it. Keeps getting bigger. The family is growing.
Yes.
Sezin, thank you so much for taking
Thank
time
you.
out of your busy schedule and sharing this wonderful all these wonderful tools. And you have an open invitation to come back anytime, because it sounds like Points of View is just going crazy and getting bigger and bigger and doing innovative things.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laurie. Thank